Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we take you through an in-depth look into Pathfinder in Apex Legends. Before we get into this video, I will want to preface this by saying I am not a Pathfinder main, okay? I like to play Mirage, I like to play Bloodhound, I like to play Bangalore sometimes, but I like playing Pathfinder just because he suits my playstyle from other games. Not that I'm the best with him, but I think that I still can offer some things that a lot of people can learn. So, Pathfinder, let's go ahead and get into what he does. First of all, his passive is called Insider Knowledge. As you're going around the map, you'll see these little beacons, these little survey beacons posted up, usually in high places on top of buildings and whatnot. If you see those and go up to them, Pathfinder can actually reveal this thing in his hand and stick it into these survey beacons, and it can show you where the next ring is going to be located. So his passive is actually pretty useful. Most of the time, I use it kind of towards the end, so it's not that helpful because you kind of already know where the circle is going to go, but it's still something that you can use to your advantage. Next, the tactical and the ultimate. This is where Pathfinder is a lot of fun to use. So, like I said before, if you've watched me play Call of Duty or any other game like that, I'm a run and gun player, so I'm always moving, I'm always sprinting, I'm always looking for the next gun battle. And that's what's great about Pathfinder, is that his tactical and his ult helps him move around the map faster so you can spot those enemies quicker. So the tactical is called a grappling hook. So basically, out of his left hand, he goes ahead and he shoots a grappling hook. As that's going, once it hits something, it'll pull him towards it. Now, most people will just use it to get to higher locations, stuff like that. But I'll show you some advanced ways to use it here in a second. So his tactical is a grappling hook, and then his ultimate is a zipline gun. So if you played any Apex, you'll see all these zip lines around the map. Well, sometimes they're not always the most beneficial, or they're not there for what you need them for. So if you hit L1 and R1, he can go ahead and he can look around, see where he wants to place a zip line, and then he and his enemies, enemies can use it too, but he and his teammates can go ahead and use those zip lines. And again, it's just something that helps you get to a higher ground faster, or it helps you cross a creek or something like that. Something that helps you move around the map faster. So those are the passive, tactical, and ultimate abilities for Pathfinder. Let's go ahead and get into some gameplay so you can see some different ways to use it. Alright, so before we get into some gameplay, the first thing to explain are the little nuances of this grappling hook. So if you look on screen, I'm looking at this little dot in the wall. So the first thing I'll do is I'll show you how most people use it. You just hit your grappling hook, it goes to that dot, and you fall. This is about as ineffective as you can possibly be using this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my grappling hook, and right after I throw it, I'm going to look to the left. If you look to the left, as I did just right there, that allows you to swing around the side of the building. So you can see that before I stopped at that corner, and then looking off to the side, I went about twice as far. Now, the final part of this, once you start to look good, or once you start to get good at this, is to shoot your grappling hook towards the top. And you can see at the end of that, I got some extra distance there. So ultimately, I went from just hitting the corner of that building to getting about twice as far if I hit halfway up, to getting probably 3 or 4 times as far if I just build up a little bit of momentum by hitting the very top of the edge of that building. So as you go ahead and start using the grappling hook, you want to start thinking about different ways that you can look left and right to build up that extra little bit of momentum so that you can fly further, and in the end, you're a little bit more effective using the grappling hook. Alright, so first thing I'll show you as we hop into some gameplay here is the passive and the ult. So if you look on your minimap, there's a tiny little white icon, and if you go up to it, it's usually on top of buildings. You'll get these little beacons that look like this. So you go ahead and you hold square, or if you're on PC, it'll be a certain button, and it will activate this thing. And if you look at the minimap now, there's a green circle, and that green circle represents where the next circle is going to be going to. So it kind of gives you a heads up on the next location. And then after that, if you'll see that I went ahead and I hit my L1 and R1, and I threw a zip line, and I'll show you more of those in a second. But essentially, we were through looting at market, so I went ahead and I hit L1 and R1 so that I could put a zip line down, and we went ahead and we got around closer to where our teammate was. One other quick little example I'll show you here. If you look at the mini-map, we have a really long way to go to get into the next circle. So the easiest way to do that would be to get up on top of this mountain. Well, normally you can't climb up that high, but with Pathfinder, I can go ahead, I can shoot my zip line, I can use that as a shortcut to get up on top of this mountain. And then now, if you're staring at the mini-map, there's this little crevice between two mountain ranges, and now I can take a more direct route getting into the next circle than I would have been able to before if I was using a different character. Alright, so Pathfinder's passive and his ult, super easy, self-explanatory. But the tactical ability, the grappling hook, is what makes this character so much fun to use. So here in a second, you're going to see me actually catapult onto the ground. As soon as I do, I'm going to jump as soon as I throw my grappling hook, and that's going to catapult me past where my grappling hook hits. So right here, I throw it, I jump, and then at the end of it, I sped up so much that I'm able to slide. So if we go back and look at that one more time, you can see how much easier it makes it getting from point A to point B and why it's so fun to use this character in general. This next clip really shows the beauty of this ability. So we've got 7, 6, 5 seconds to get into the next circle. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to jump off this, and you're going to see me try to latch onto the building that's in front of me. As soon as I do, I jump, and watch this. I jump, and it catapults me over the entire building, and then I slide to get myself a little bit more distance. And now, if you look back at the minimap, me and that person, the blue arrow on my minimap, he was actually a little bit ahead of me. But I'm able to get ahead of him just from simply using this. And then that one, I tried to jump and do it again. It just didn't work as well because I was going uphill. Most of the time, if you're going to do this, you need to be going downhill. Now, last but not least, just like with every ability in this game, they're on a cooldown timer, so you can only use it once every 11 or 12 seconds, but there, you see me use it again, I throw it at the ground, as soon as I do, I jump, and then it resets it, but you can see on my minimap, that blue arrow that's behind me, I just keep getting further and further ahead, and it's simply just because I'm using Pathfinder. Another clip here where I just want to show you the versatility of Pathfinder. Up there, that white icon that I'm shooting at here, that's the survey beacon, so I can use my ult to get on top. Once I'm on top, I can go ahead and I can hold square to reveal the next location. And here I actually bring up the minimap so you can see it. So this thing opens up. I'm going to turn around here in a second. And then when you're looking at the minimap right here, there's the white circle, which is the current one. And then that green one was where it's going next. Last clip here of the ult that I'll show you, I go ahead and I climb up on top of this canopy, and when I get up here, I go up to the survey beacon, and you're going to see that I use it, and as I use it, it's going to go ahead and show me where the next location is. This is one where I actually use this location to plan out where we're going next. So I see if I go down the river, this is the quickest way to get in, so I go ahead and I put my mark on the mini-map, which tells my teammates where I think we should go. I check behind me right here just because the circle's closing behind me, so I want to make sure nobody is running up on us. And then when I get over here, I use my ult, and it does have a limited range, so there's only so far you can go, but I throw it, then I go ahead and ping it, and then it allows my teammates and I to go ahead and get in a little bit faster. Now, the circle's closing in behind us, so when I land, I actually end up going down the hill, and I use my tactical ability again to do this bunny hop move. I throw it out in front of me, I jump, and then I'm sped up so I can slide, and again, if you look at my teammates behind me, it just puts me into the action a little bit quicker than they are. Alright, so with that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new around here, please subscribe. That way you can catch all the videos in the future. Like, comment, favorite, all that good stuff. Share it so we can get some more numbers on these videos. And I'll leave you with this final kill. Thanks again. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.
Took out an enemy.
Awesome. Let's displace here.
Here I go. Lucky us. We are already inside the ring.
Let's recover our